we have the name, we have the ID, we have the branch, and we have the attendance date. That means every time when the employees attend to their office, it will be updated in the timesheet. So the timesheet will show which date they attended or they work in the office. So for example, Ali worked in the office on 1st February and 4th February. And as you can see below, Lionel worked in office 1st February, 4th February, 7th and 10th and 13th. And meanwhile, Messi works in the office, Kajang office on 28th February. So now this is the data we have for timesheet. But now let us have a look on the attendance. So of course, we do have the days. As you can see over here, this is February. So February, we have 28 days. So similarly, in this particular attendance sheet, there are 28 columns. So what I want to do is, if just see Messi attended on 28th of 1st, I would like to do present over here. I'll just like to type present over here. And if just say Lionel attended on the 2nd, I'll just type present on this tab as well. But however, you notice if we key in this particular tab manually, it will take time. And what if just say we have lots of data? So that's why what I'm going to share you in this particular YouTube video, I'm going to tell you how we can automate our data based on the timesheet in this attendance tab. All right, so let's have a look. So in this tab, it is the timesheet. So what you can do is you just press Ctrl A and you will highlight the entire data. And then the second step, what you do is you go to data, you click on the data ribbon. So once you have clicked the data ribbon, as you go on the left hand side, we have from table / range. So what you do is you click from table / range. So once you click from table / range, you will notice that a small box will appear. All right. And then you just click OK. So the moment you click OK, you will notice that you will be navigated to Power Query Editor. All right. So what I'm going to do is I want to update whatever data attendance from here. I just want to update in that tab. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, of course, if you notice in that tab, we have 1st, 2nd until 28th. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on this column and then I'm going to go to transform, or I go to transform. Yep. And then I go to split column by delimiter. Delimiter means the character. So if you notice here, in this particular column, the 1st February / February / 2023. So the slash is your character that separates the numbers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split, go to delimiter, and then a box will appear as you can see over here. So this is the delimiter that I want to split. And when I press OK, you will notice that these dates are separated. That means the 1st February and 2023 are separated. So what's the next step? The next step is I'm going to click on this column and I just want to remove this because this is not my priority. My priority is on the dates. I also want to remove the ID and branches, and I just want to remove the columns. So now we have the name and the attendance date. So what next we can do? So the next step you can do is you go to add column and then you go to custom column. All right. So you go to custom column and then you can put here maybe attendance. Okay. And I'm just going to put here 1. You can actually put present or you can put 1. It's up to you. Okay. So I'm going to press OK. So now you have inserted an additional column of 1. So those who attended on the 1st or 4th, or those who attended or work in office, it will be appeared as 1. So the next step is I'm going to click this column over here, go to transform, and I'm going to go to pivot column. All right. So I'm going to click this pivot column, and then I just want to put on the attendance. So I just put attendance and I press OK. So now you notice that Abu has attended on the 1st. Ajay is absent on the 1st. Lionel attended on the 1st. Messi is absent on the 1st. And then if I scroll towards the right, you will notice that Messi has attended on the 28th. All right. So in this particular list, this guy named Messi, he was absent, but on the 28th, he was working in the office. All right. But in the meantime, you'll notice that in this data, we have null, right? Null, null. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this null and put as 0. So what I'm going to do is I go to transform, replace values, and then I put your null and I put your 0, and then there you go. So now you have 1 and 0. So 1 means present, 0 means absent. Okay, so I'm just going to put this, and then there you go. All right, so next step, what I'm going to do is I want to go to home and I click close and load. All right, so once I press close and load, it will go back to the Excel file. So we have Abu and we have Vijay as well, and attendance. So now we can use the index match formula to match the data. All right, so before I match, let me show you some things. Okay, now this data here is 1. If I press here equal 1 equal table and I put here and I just put this, you will notice that it appears as false. Why is it so? Because you must notice that here, if just say I press F9, it shows 1. But here, if I press F9, it shows apostrophe 1 and close apostrophe. So which is not exactly accurate, which is technically false. So what I can do is I can just use value, open bracket, close bracket, and then you'll get true. Okay, so that means those who attended, it will be present. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use index match, index, and then I'm going to highlight all this. Maybe I'll just do it again. Equal, index, open bracket, and then I go just to table. I want to highlight all this. Okay, and then I put match. Okay, index means the array, we highlight entire table. Match, lookup value, we go here, and I just going to click this F4, 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 so that it only logs column A, and then I press comma, and then I go to lookup array. I just want to highlight this until row 17. What if we have future data in the future? Close bracket, comma, match, and then I'm going to go to this attendance. I click 1. Okay, I just press F4 so that it only logs at row number 1. And then I'm going to go to the lookup array until J, and then 0, close bracket, close bracket. When I press enter, it is not available. Why is it so? Because you see Ali has attended, but here is not available. All right, so let us check one by one. So if just say I highlight this, now when I press F9, it shows that the data is available. When I press this and I press F9, it shows the data is not available. Why? As you remember, when I mentioned earlier, the data recognized as apostrophe 1. So what you're going to do is, you're going to put here value, open bracket, and then you put close bracket. And there you go. So now it appears 1. So now if just say I just drag down the formula. So those who attended on the first, it will appear 1. And those who never attend, it will appear as 0. But I don't want it to be appear as 1. I want it to appear as maybe present, or I want to say work in office. So what I can do is I use if, open bracket, let this argument be, and then I put as equal 1. So those who equal 1, I put them work in office. And those who are absent, who didn't attend, I'll just put as absent. And then I put close apostrophe, and then I put close bracket. Okay, and there you go. So now this is how it looks like. All right, so we have few people who have attended in the work in office and few people who is absent. But then if you notice, we don't have anyone going to office on the second. So the moment if just say I drag this, okay, if just say I drag the formula, it shows not available. All right. So it's not the formula is wrong, because nobody has attended on the second, and there's nothing, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same thing. I'm going to add if error, okay, if error, open bracket, and then if just say they never attend on the second, you can put this as absent. And there you go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this, and there you go. So on the second, they are absent. And then I just want to drag this, And yep, there you go. So if you notice over here, Lionel Messi attended on the 28th. That means all the others days, Messi, he is absent. But on the 28th, he is present and attended in office. So now with this automation, you will notice that Messi has worked in office. So with this, basically, you can actually automate your data instantly with the help of Power Query. All right. So basically, Power Query not only massage your data, not only transform, but also can provide an automation